It's getting really cold in the mornings, which makes it harder to get up in the mornings. But on the plus side, I bought a truck, and I'm suppliers of all. So yeah, pretty good truck all up. I've just got to fix the switch for the windows, so that's off currently, but other than that, it seems to be pretty much perfect for an old truck. Anyway, let's get into work so I can start on this table. Alright, so I'm getting a continue on with this big table, but what I want to do is with the apron, I just want to rip that down to be a little bit narrower because it looked a tad heavy. And I'm going to use my new toy to do that because why not? Yes, I got a new table saw. Don't worry, panel saw's still here. Alright, so this is one of the legs here, but I've got a weak spot where this bit of timber, or this bit of the leg I should say, could snap off. So I'm just going to add a butterfly or a Dutchman here, and that should reinforce that quite nicely. Alright, so the Dutchman's going to go somewhere around there. So to transfer the marks, I'm just going to use double stick tape and a marking knife. There we go. Right, there it is. So that's fitting in really nicely, so I'll just glue that in and we'll be done. Alright, it's looking pretty good, nice and sanded, although there is a few small things that need filling, so I'll just quickly do that using 5-minute epoxy for now, and then once that's set we'll sand it to 120 and we'll do the actual bottom coat. So the next thing I need to do is figure out the attachment for the rail. Now I think for this, because it is such a heavy thing, I'm just going to use 4 large lag screws, so 2 from either end, and then that will go through the leg into the rail, and then we'll make a custom plate so it looks a bit more finished than just seeing, you know, 2 bolt heads. So I've marked out on the leg, which hasn't got the Dutchman in it, where we want our first 2 holes, and I'll do the same on this one once I've got this off the clamps. But first I'm just going to make a drill block using this drill bit here, just so we can be sure that we get a nice straight hole. Alright, so there's those holes done, and as we close it up, basically we line up everything we did before, and then using these holes we drill into the stretcher to get everything indexed perfectly. Alright, I had to get a little bit creative with my clamping here because I haven't actually got any clamps that are long enough for the bottom. So I've got a clamp along the top, which is keeping it nice and closed up here. Then on my workbench I've clamped this piece so it's rigid up against the leg, and then on the other end I clamped this piece at an angle and drove this wedge in, and that is what has closed this gap here. Everything's been checked with a square, so we know that this is plumb, the legs are level, so in theory all we have to do is drill the through holes and bolt this thing together. This is finally dry, so I'm gonna flush it off. That bit snapped off. Alright, so this is the handle that was removed, and this section here has been snapped off. So obviously I will need to order a new handle, however, that isn't an immediate fix. What I need is something that will let me open my door. So I've got this washer which I've ground a section off, and that kind of fits in place. So what I'll do is I'll epoxy that in place, then reinforce it all over the place, and hopefully that will get me by until the new handle arrives. Alright, this is the best part of any day, and that is seeing the finish go down on some wood. So, alright, well the sun is fully down and we're looking pretty good. So the underside of the top is finished, the base is constructed, so I was going to finish that today but it's too late. So I'll do that tomorrow. My truck is de-vinyled and it looks good there, and more importantly, the door opens. Still have to put the skin and the speaker and all that other stuff back into the door, but it's too late. That's going to be a weekend job. So that's it. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.